Jolly phonics, jolly grammar. If you think those words couldn't possibly go together, then we have a lot to talk about. Starting with excellent phonics instruction that uses its own unique and a bit out of the ordinary presentation sequence, Jolly Phonics morphs into a solid elementary grammar program. Religiously neutral, the program is easy to use, open and go in terms of teacher prep, but it does require a medium amount of teacher involvement. While you could choose to use the older black and white phonics handbook, you can also tumble into a wonderful world of color. Both of these options utilize the same multisensory phonics instruction, but only the newer, colorful materials introduce you to Inky Mouse, a surprisingly winsome snake, and Bee, the adorable mascots that are found in all the Jolly Phonics material. And it is only these newer materials that segue into the grammar program. Originally from Great Britain and developed to promote early literacy, Jolly Phonics can be introduced to children as young as 3. 5 skills are taught together throughout the program. The first skill is learning letter sounds. All words are made up of sounds. There are at least 42 sounds in English, but only 26 letters are used to represent those sounds. Initially, in Jolly Phonics, one way of representing each sound is taught. For instance, long A is written as AI, as in the word rain. Later, students are introduced to the alternatives, AY as in day, and A consonant silent E as in came. The second skill is learning letter formation. By concentrating on correct letter formation and pencil hold from the beginning, bad habits can be prevented. This makes it easier for students to develop neat, fluent, joined handwriting and encourages pride in their work. The third skill is blending. Students look at the letters, say the sounds, run them together, and listen for the word. Blending needs practice and should be started as soon as possible. The fourth skill is identifying the sounds in words. Students first learn to listen for the initial sound, then to identify all the other sounds in a word. The fifth and last skill is learning tricky or irregular words. Tricky words are frequently used words that students are unable to read or write simply by blending and listening for the sounds. In Jolly Phonics, these words are taught in a systematic way with plenty of practice. You've probably heard me emphasize teaching sounds. It's the teaching of those letter sounds, rather than merely letters, that sets this program apart from others. And it is the secret to its success. Students are taught to listen carefully for the sounds in words, to identify those sounds, and then to relate the sounds to letters. This teaching method makes it much easier for students to learn to read and write, and reading problems are much more scarce. There is another aspect to the program that contributes to its success. It is spiral. The 42 letters and sounds that make up our language are introduced in an unusual 7-step order right from its preschool beginnings. This allows children to immediately read words. Those same groups of letters are reintroduced in later levels. Each level covers all 42 sounds, but reviews, reinforces, and expands at every level. A third reinforcing aspect of the Jolly Phonics program that is not always found in phonics reading programs is the immediate introduction of handwriting instruction. Writing the letters from the very beginning is a natural outworking of the kinesthetic emphasis of Jolly Phonics. Jolly Phonics takes children down visual, auditory, and tactile kinesthetic learning paths such as finger tracing and skywriting. Each sound is introduced and associated with an action that is continually repeated in all the beginning materials. Engaging stories about Inky Mouse, about Snake, and about Bee capture the interest of the beginning readers and their teachers. Program components are high quality, well-designed, easy to use, and most are brightly colorful. As I've mentioned, instead of the usual alphabetical order presentation, Jolly Phonics incorporates an unusual 7-step order. These 7 groupings of letters and sounds allow children to immediately read words. Groups 1, 2, and 3 introduce most of the consonants and all of the short vowel sounds. Groups 4 through 7 cover long vowels and blends along with a few remaining consonants. Sounds are introduced with hand motions and vocalizations. Instructions for these hand motions show up in all the materials, especially at the beginning levels. The sounds in Group 1 are S, short A, T, short I, P, and N. The sounds in Group 2 are CK, short E, H, R, M, and D. The sounds in Group 3 are G, short O, short U, L, F, and B. The sounds in Group 4 are long A, shown as AI, J, long O, shown as OA, long I, shown as IE, long E, shown as double E, and the sound OR. The sounds in Group 5 are Z, W, NG, V, and the two sounds of double O, as in moon and look. The sounds of Group 6 are Y, X, CH, SH, and the two sounds of TH, the voiced and unvoiced, or the sounds that are in that and thin. Lastly, the sounds of Group 7 are QU, OU, OI, long U spelled UE, ER, and AR. There are hand motions for every sound. For example, for S, you are supposed to weave your hand as an S shaped like a snake and say S. For CH, you're to move your arms at your sides like a steam train saying ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. These 7 groups of letter sounds reverberate through all the Jolly Phonics materials, the readers, the activity books, and the workbooks, as well as the audio-visual components and the reference and resource material. For instance, in the PK material, there are 7 finger phonics books and 7 activity books, each representing 1 group of letters. While there is only 1 Jolly Stories book, it just happens to have 7 stories that correspond to the sounds presented in each of those groups. All of these materials are colorful and full of interesting and detailed graphics that just beg to be studied. There's a cleverness in how these materials are woven together. Each Jolly story introduces 6 sounds. These stories can be read a bit at a time. Each sound has its own 2 pages of story. There are plenty of sound illustrating graphics to get lost in, not to mention the challenge of locating our 3 mascot friends, Inky, Snake, and Bee. These 3 are not always visible in every picture. After all, the presence of a snake, no matter how lovable, will sometimes cause a bit of disturbance. You can often see a set of eyes, however, peering out from some hiding place. Each of these stories includes instructions for the simple hand motions that illustrate the sound. Finger tracing letters and numerous sound including words complete the pages. Sometimes you'll even see a phonics hint mentioned. The finger phonics books pick up the visual cues introduced in the story. These are the board books that can be read with the youngest children. Each book presents the 6 sounds in multiple ways. You can tactily follow the letters, while colorful pictures and written words present multiple examples of the sound. Here also, the action sequence that illustrates the sound is represented. The finger tracing letters include directional arrows, so letter formation is reinforced. The pictures from the storybook are not duplicated in the finger phonics books, but there's often a repetition of theme. These materials are rich in multisensory experiences. Once again, in each of the activity books, you see similar themes, as well as the letter sound basics, but now the student has written work to complete. Lines are provided so the student can write the letters, first following dotted letters, and then with just starting points. There are a variety of activities in these books, such as coloring, matching, stickers, and games. There are some teacher instructions in all of these preschool materials, but mostly their introductory nature speaks for itself. But all that changes with the teacher and student books that target kindergarten and first grade students. These are the heart of the program. This is where the 5 skills are artfully interwoven throughout the teaching sequences. This is where the 42 sounds are not only introduced, but are thoroughly taught. And not only those 42 sounds, but also all the variations and alternative spellings of those sounds, as well as the tricky words. The teacher book is all business, bright, colorful business, and it encapsulates the Jolly Phonics teaching methodology. This book is primarily an overview of the program and a set of daily lesson plans for working through all 3 student books and the Jolly Phonics readers. After a brief introduction and a little bit about the history and development, there is a thorough and very helpful breakdown on how to teach each of the 5 skills. Remember those skills? Learning the letter sounds, learning letter formation, blending, identifying the sounds in words, and tricky words. This section goes through each skill, explaining the scope of each and clearly laying out how to use the materials to teach those skills. There is even a short but informative section on how to offer support for struggling students. It is hard to overstate how user-friendly and straightforward all this information is. For instance, the section on the skill blending shows how to introduce and integrate the decodable Jolly Phonics readers, as well as what to expect from each reader level. You might tentatively tiptoe into this program, but the information in this teacher's book will build your confidence and you'll jump into the lesson plans, thankful for the clear, and may I say reasonable instructions and expectations? The lesson plans correspond directly to student books 1, 2, and 3, each of which features the 42 letter sounds. I might also mention that the teacher book is color-coded with page edge colors that match these student books. The books introduce and reinforce skill development, building on each other in concentric circles, each book introducing more tricky words, as well as sound spellings, sound patterns, and basic sentence structure. Each lesson in the teacher book shows reduced copies of the student pages with answers. Book 1 provides daily lessons, each focused on one of the 42 sounds. A short story read by the teacher or parent introduces both the sound and the action for remembering the sound. Activities on the page are focused on teaching one or more of the target skills. A section on further ideas in each lesson incorporates some of the supplementary Jolly Phonics materials, such as the Jolly Songs or the Wall Freeze. In addition, there are many other reinforcement activity suggestions based on simple arts and crafts. Books 2 and 3 provide 13 weekly units, each with 3 workbook pages. With a focus on the 5 skills for reading and writing, these pages cover 4 main topics. First, the various ways to write a sound. Second, handwriting instruction and practice, which includes dictation. Third, tricky words, 72 of which are covered in these 2 workbooks. And fourth, words and sentences, which is a section that provides a bridge to other language arts. These lesson plans conclude with a further practice section that includes blending and sounding practice as well as sentence reading practice. These student workbooks are colorful and engaging, packed with a variety of learning exercises and peppered with glimpses of those 3 Jolly Phonics mascots, along with other well-done illustrations. For example, Unit 4 from Student Book 2 is a lesson on double letters. There are 3 worksheets for this unit, each with its own lesson plan in the teacher's book. Each lesson incorporates all 5 skills, although the pages themselves will usually focus on a specific skill. Lesson plans include review, instruction, and answers for the work pages, as well as suggestions for further practice, including sentence reading. Colorful and engaging, the Jolly Phonics readers coordinate with the skill levels found in the instructional material, but they focus on reading practice and reading comprehension skills. There is even a variety of genres among the stories. The Red series of books parallels the material taught in Student Book 1. The yellow and green series reinforce skills taught in Book 2. The blue series coordinates with the instruction in Book 3. Using decodable regular words, which are the words made from the 42 letter sounds, and a small number of tricky words, which are frequently used words that are not fully decodable yet, each level provides 3 types of stories. There are 6 fictional stories in the series entitled Inky Mouse and Friends. In Phonics Fantastic Facts, there are 6 nonfiction stories. Snake's Amazing Tales has 6 stories that are well-known folk and fairy tales rewritten to the appropriate level. These 18 stories in each of the red, yellow, green, and blue series are available either as small, individual books that are sold as complete sets or as larger decodable readers, which each have 6 stories per book and 3 books per series. The Jolly Phonics readers are practically a reading program all on their own. Each book, whether a single story or a group of stories, begins with a review of the sounds plus a listing of tricky words used in the stories. The stories conclude with comprehension questions that focus on what was in the book and what do you think? At the end of each of the readers, there is even a section for parents that gives them guidelines for helping their children get the most from the reading experience and paves the way for book reporting and for character reviews. The orange series of readers is a bit different and parallels the preschool instructional material of the 42 letter sounds. These can be used by students who are not confident or fluent in their reading. These 21 books are all general fiction stories, but they include the same reading skills helps. On the other end of the instructional framework, the purple set of 6 Our World readers are packed with interesting factual information and designed for readers who are ready for independent reading. These are manageable by the end of Student Book 3. You've probably picked up on the fact that different materials are used at different levels. This can be a bit confusing at first, but the spiral nature of the components provides interesting options. You can begin at any of the age levels. Instruction builds within that level, but each level also reviews all the previously taught concepts, so you don't miss any content. There are media add-ons like the songs and DVD that can also be used at the various levels. For ages 3 and older, or preschool, start with the Jolly Stories board book and the activity books. Also enjoyed at this level are the DVD, the songs book and CD, and many find the letter sound poster helpful. For ages 4 and older, or K4, use the 7 finger phonics books plus the 7 workbooks, as well as the orange level of readers. But you could also add in the DVD, the songs, the poster, and the word book at this level. For ages 5 and older, or kindergarten, or possibly bridging into first grade, settle into the 3 student books and teacher book. The red, yellow, green, and blue readers are used at these levels. You might also add in the word book, the dictionary, and the blend wheels. For ages 6 and older, first grade or possibly second grade, you would finish up with the student books using the green and blue reading series and adding in the Our World readers. This is the point at which the program segues into Jolly Grammar. Rainbow has put together several packages that will help you get started with Jolly Phonics. These correspond to the various age skill levels I've just mentioned. There is one adorable introductory set of materials that is provided by the Jolly Phonics people themselves. Wrapped around a water-repellent case, Snake welcomes both parents and students alike to the Jolly Phonics at home. If you're like me, you probably keep asking yourself, how can a snake be this winsome? But he is. The materials inside the case are appealing as well and include the Jolly Stories book as well as the DVD, songs, CD, activities books, and the letter sound poster. There is even some teaching information for parents. Students completing this set will be ready for the teacher and student books. One of the nice things about the Jolly Phonics program is that there are numerous fun add-ons that might be beneficial for different learning styles of your students. Songs found on the Songs CD book help students learn the letter sounds. Here's an example. See me play on my drum. Playing drums is lots of fun with a da 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 da. See me play upon my drum. Another audiovisual resource for learning the letters is the DVD. Inky Mouse, Snake, and Bee team up to introduce the letter sounds. An added bonus for parents on the DVD is a video overview of the entire Jolly Phonics program. Additionally, there are several apps for smartphones and tablets that are available at the respective app stores. Some of these are free, while others require a small fee. Look for Jolly Phonics Sounds, Jolly Phonics Lessons, and Jolly Songs. All of these audio-visual resources are in a bit of flux due to changing technology, and what's available now might change in the upcoming months or years. We really can't forget to mention a few of the notable Jolly Phonics supplements. The bumper book provides activities, lots of them, that an enterprising parent or teacher could use to introduce each of the 42 basic sounds and introduce words with a particular sound. Get out your scissors and paste and have fun. You'll even be amused at the occasional reference to the British terminology. For instance, the instruction to use ice lolly sticks to craft a little weightlifter. Quick translation, popsicle sticks, or craft sticks as we call them. The Jolly Phonics Word Bank is a valuable little book for teachers. For each of the 42 sounds, the book provides a comprehensive list of words that the teacher can use for examples of blending, segmenting, and dictation. There are even some simple phrases and sentences with tricky words that can be used for reading practice. The Jolly Dictionary is exactly what you would expect. Well illustrated, there are over 6,000 words and phrases that are suitable for children and will help students learn how to look up and understand words they don't know. This last one is one of my favorites. Word webs are used throughout the Jolly Phonics materials. This little wheel, the Jolly Phonics Blend Wheel, provides students with lots of opportunities for blending practice. Whether they are making recognizable words or just syllables, both beginning and ending blends are coupled with short vowels, producing a large number of decodables. Remember that low-cost option we talked about way back at the beginning? The Phonics Handbook provides a year's worth of detailed lesson plans that will cover the basic phonics skills needed to progress to an end of first grade reading level. Carefully thought out, it progresses systematically, introducing, then honing each skill. Instructions for each presentation are simple, straightforward, and sensible. The bulk of the handbook is the reproducible material you will use in the program. Sound sheets, flashcard sheets, sound book sheets, word box sheets, string joining sheets, matching letters, words, and picture cards, sentence sticking, letter clue pictures, reading games, missing sound sheets, homework writing sheets, tricky word sheets, and alternative spellings of vowels. You get the idea. There are a lot of reproducible materials. This basic phonics presentation material is ample, but necessary review and reading practice needed to move to fluent reading levels is a little more skimpy. The handbook option provides all the benefits of the Jolly Phonics multisensory approach with its hand action cues and its distinctive sound presentation order, but at a really affordable price. There are suggestions for adding in some of the colorful Jolly Phonics material, such as the finger phonics books and the readers. Often the instructional wording is similar or identical to the teacher instructions in the more colorful material. The main difference you'll notice is the absence of those cute little mascots. The Phonics Handbook is available in either a print letter or a precursive version. The other Jolly Phonics material is all print letters. Looking at all the aspects of this program, Jolly Phonics provides a very strong option for phonics instruction. Program materials are colorful and user-friendly. There are basic options that are effective by themselves, but there are add-ons that add audio-visual elements. The program includes an excellent array of readers that are engaging and fun for the student, not to mention the personable and winsome mascots, Inky Mouse, Snake, and Bee. In fact, how can you not love any program that can elevate a lowly snake into a lovable friend? One of the best aspects of the program, though, is that it segues smoothly into Jolly Phonics grammar, which provides phonics review, grammar, and spelling instruction through 6th grade, all for a very affordable price. If you have any questions about Jolly Phonics, or any phonics program for that matter, please contact our team of consultants. You can reach us at 888-841-3456 or by email at consultants@rainbowresource.com or through the live chat option from the website. We look forward to talking with you.